Well, hello everyone, we're live. And today with Vinny Leite, my great friend Vinny, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very good. Better now talking to you, man. What an honor.
Ah, it's always a pleasure. We're great friends. Feels like so weird, so having this live with you because we're, you know, so close friends that if we wanted to talk, you would just call me. But we want to share like a little bit of what the Kurukuru, are doing to prepare the World Cup, a bit of their
Mhm.
journey to how they got to the World Cup. And it's always a pleasure first, to talk about futsal. Second, talk about futsal with a friend, and then talk about futsal with a friend and with more friends watching it. So yeah, I'm very
Yeah,
pleased to be here tonight.
thank you for accepting the invitation and to talk about your work. As you said, we're very close, and every now and then we're having barbecues, and I think today we spoke 3 times on the phone or something about other
Yeah,
things.
like organizing our futsal league. But yeah, so let's talk about something much bigger than we're doing here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you recently had one of those interview kind of lives in Portuguese, and I also know that as at the same time as it was good for the family and friends in Brazil, a lot of friends are here in Australia. A lot of the parents of the kids that you coach, and so now the opportunity to be able to do it in English as well. I think a lot of people will be happy with that.
Yeah, I so recently have been invited to do a podcast. So first time doing it. I confess that I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know if it was kind of more like an interview or just like a chat, and then people also record their chat, the conversation.
Mm.
I felt good, like in the end, but yeah, live is much different because people are watching you, a little bit more pressure. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I did that one in Portuguese. Now it's a good time to do one in English. So the Aussie, futsal supporters, if they're watching it, or more people like around the world can understand now. So what I'm saying, because in Portuguese might be hard for the people that don't speak Portuguese.
Yeah, and I'm sure if for any reason they can't be watching now, this is going to be saved, so they can watch it at any time
Recorded
they want, and it's there for the, as they say, for the posterity.
for the
So
convenience to watch anytime, anywhere, so whenever they want.
yeah, very much so, very much so. So Vinny, obviously, let's move towards our main topic of our conversation today, but which is the FIFA Futsal World Cup that's coming up. It was meant to happen last year, and like many other things, because of the pandemic, got postponed. Even this year, there were moments that they didn't know if it was going to happen. Some uncertainty
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
But I think it's now decided, and it's definitely happening. We've got the groups sorted. All the teams are in final stages of their preparations, including yours, the Solomon Islands national team.
yep.
Um, before we, I think it's probably. I know you've said this so many times, and I know you're going to find a way to sum this up. But if you want to tell us a little bit about, how did you get there? First, how did you get to Australia in a succinct way, if possible, and your
Yeah, no
journey
worry.
up to, I know all that obviously, and but a lot of the people that maybe new to your story here would probably be wanting to know a little bit more. So would you mind sharing a little bit of that?
Yeah, no, yeah, like absolutely. I promise I'll try and shorten, so the story, and make it, as brief as possible. So 2010, I came to Australia, wanted to learn English, play a little bit of futsal. Uh, not None of that happened. I didn't learn much English, didn't play much futsal. There wasn't, much being played. decided to stay, renewed my visa with a lot of sacrifices, but I managed to stay here. And then since then, I've been working with futsal. So in 2015, Giuliano, which was the former Kurukuru coach, great person, great coach, great friend. I owe him a lot. He asked me if I could help the team prepare for the qualifiers in Fiji in 2016, January 2016. I knew Giuliano since 2014 when he coached me when I played for Galaxy FC in the Australian National League called the F League. Doesn't exist anymore. And then 2015, he said, Vinny, we're going to qualifiers. Can you help me prepare the team? Can you organize a tournament or some training camps for them? And I go, yep. I know like a few people, a few teams. Bring to Australia. So they came in December, played in a tournament that I called JF International Cup, with some teams from Melbourne, South Australia, Sydney, and then so they did well. I think that was the only preparation they had leading up to the qualifiers. They ended up winning the qualifiers and then went to the World Cup on the same year, 2016, in Colombia. Giuliano decided to return the favor and say, Vinny, do you want to go as the goalkeeper coach? And I said, yeah, I'll be honored to go. And then that's how I joined them in 2016. Went to Colombia, participated, in every training camp, every trip, every game. And then in 2018, Giuliano left for reasons that I don't know. And then the federation, I think, due to the proximity I had with the team and the contact, I had with them since 2015, so 3 years pretty much. Then they decided to invite me first. I said yes. Then they appointed me as the head coach in 2019 January. And then I've been with them since then. I don't live there. They don't come here very often, but we try and send trainees over and try and monitor and like assess their progress. But that's it. Starting 2015, it still goes now in 2021. But now from goalkeeper coach to the head coach.
Wow, what a journey. And it's always been like this, isn't it? Like every opportunity that you had from the very beginning, that school holiday clinic in Brisbane 10 years ago in Acacia Reed. I'll do it. Couldn't speak English very well. I'll do it anyway.
When I first met you, I remember the guy said, Vinny, so do you want to come and coach? And I said, yes. I was confident in coaching, but not in English. But then I needed the money, and I just accepted the challenge. And I remember you coaching on the court like so next door. Perfect English. Your English is amazing, by the way. So great English back then. And I was just like, oh, one day I wish I could speak like this guy. And you're translating everything to me. So our friendship, goes back then, since 2010. So here we go, 11 years. I'm catching up to your English. I promise in the next 5 years I will get there. But
stop saying that, man. Your English is awesome. I think we all as not like non-native speakers, we just learn every day, and we just have to be to know that that's going to be forever. Like we have the accent, we don't know gazillion words, and we're just going to keep on working on that. Talking about
kids are going to keep teaching us.
Kids,
every training session I learn a new word. The kids go blah blah blah, and I go, is that what it means? He goes, yeah. So it's it just adds to your vocabulary, and that's how you improve. Talking to the parents as well, you keep making mistakes, but you learn from them.
And talking about the English, so is that the language obviously used to communicate with the Solomon Islands team, or have you learned a little bit of their dialect over there, or how does that work?
No, I haven't had much time with them. very, very hard. So I haven't had much time with them to be able to learn the language. I can pick up a few words. It's similar, like in a way. If you have a conversation, you can pick up the first, the fifth, and the last word, so you can kind of like make up the
Hmm.
sentence. But the language I speak, uh, so with them and to them is English. Most of them
Hmm.
understand. Some are very shy, so it seems that they don't understand, but they do. They just
Yeah.
can't, let's say reply back to you.
Hmm.
There are a few of them, I would say like a handful of them that have been playing futsal for a long time, have been traveling, doing training camps. So they speak perfect English, of course, with
Hmm.
the thick accent like ours, but they do speak English. So if we keep using English, we should not have a problem. We don't have a problem. Sorry, to communicate with them, so they understand it perfectly.
And you have an athlete in your squad that lives in Australia, is that correct? Or not
Yeah.
anymore?
So currently there are
Two?
now two players that reside in Australia now. So James
Hmm.
Agueta, he's been in Australia since I think 2014. Juliano brought him over to play in the National League for Galaxy. He ended up, like me, loving the country, wanting to
Mm.
stay, wanting to build a life here. Same for Jack Whitney. He lives in Sydney. James lives in Brisbane. So Jack Whitney, that's featured at I think 2 or 3 last World Cups. His wife is
Hmm.
studying in Australia. He's been here. I'm not sure how many years, but for a long time as well. Yeah, so two of them now have their lives here. They're settled in Australia. They're looking for their permanent residency in the future.
Hmm.
And the other 17, they live in like in the Solomons, not in Honiara because they come from different islands, but yeah, they reside and live, have their lives there in the Solomon.
Okay. Hmm. Right. So, talking about, let's begin with the qualifiers in the Oceania. So, when did the preparation begin for that? So, as soon as you took over, that was in 2000 and.
Yeah, 2019, so January, when I received the first contact was via email. And one
Mhm.
of their players, Elliot, skipper, the captain,
Mm.
he invited me. Then I received the formal email from the federation, the invitation. Then I said yes. I was spending my holidays in Brazil. I had not been there for like so many years. Then I went there, so it was kind of like double joy. So I was seeing my family, visiting friends, and then I received the great news of being, called up to be the coach of the national team of the Solomons. So I went yes. So why not? So as soon as I landed back in Australia, I think about not even a month. I went straight to Honiara for like a press conference to get to know the players. I had never been to the Solomons at that time. When Juliano in 2016, they just came to Australia and from here went straight to South America. So I
Mhm.
had never set foot in the Solomons in the islands there, so Honiara. And then yeah, so from Brazil here about a month, then I went to Honiara to meet the players, the president, the coaching staff, the whole structure, and even like the country, the people of the Solomons. It was an amazing experience. I wish people could experience what I experienced, because it's unreal. It made me feel like I was landing, when I got off that plane, and then the like reception from the people. It felt like you are like Pepe Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Chichi. You feel like a superstar. They treat you what we don't have here, like in Australia. I'm not saying we want to be treated like superstars, but at least
Mhm.
with a little bit of respect. Futsal coaches are not treated with respect here in Australia, and then the respect I received over there, it was just unreal. So
Mhm.
one day I think Australia will get there. What the football coaches in this country have, the status, the power. One day we don't want the power, just want a little bit of respect and be left alone to do our job.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny you say that. Like I heard you saying the other day that the Brazilian team in the Pacific. Is that right?
Yeah, so they're called the Brazilians of the Pacific Islands. because of their love, their passion, their dedication to futsal and football. And unfortunately for them, it's different than like in Brazil. I think the passion, the motivation, desire to play, to succeed is the same. But in Brazil, you can make money out of football. In Honiara, not so much. So the football league there, it's good. Players get paid, but it goes for short time. It's more like a not like a pocket change, but they can't live off that or become professional players and then retire and then use their savings. They gotta have normal jobs. It's like being a futsal coach in Australia. Sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta have 2, 3 jobs, and then futsal as a part-time job.
Yep. Yep. So okay, so that's that, and the qualifiers. So where did we travel? So how did it start?
Yeah. So then going back, sorry, I got a little bit lost
Connect
here.
the
So
dots.
yeah. So then I went to I went to Honiara. Then we started training there 2 weeks, twice a day. Then the second training camp was in Australia. Then the third training camp, I went over there. The fourth training camp back in Australia, always for two weeks during the school holidays. And then the qualifiers were played in New Caledonia. So yeah, we were undefeated till the finals against New Zealand. And then if people I can talk about the game here. It still gives me, some goosebumps. But if people want to know more about how the qualifiers went, just, so YouTube it, Google Solomon Islands or OFC Futsal Qualifiers, Futsal Nations, and then they can watch, so the highlights, the interviews, and the highlights, especially the highlights of the grand final. It was unreal. We almost didn't go to the World Cup. New Zealand, really had us to, till the last 20 seconds of the game, equalized extra time, penalty shootouts, and now we are, happily going to the World Cup. But it wasn't easy. It's not going to be easy in the future. A lot of countries, Tahiti, New Zealand, as I said before, they want to dethrone us, and then we gotta keep working very very hard in order to still be crowned the kings of Oceania.
So would you say that those trips to Australia to prepare for the qualifiers, that they were crucial for the preparation for the team to be able to win the competition?
Absolutely. So when they came over here, they had access to great training facilities, gym, swimming pool to assist with recovery. We gave them protein powder, creatine to help them, so lose weight and build muscle mass and become stronger. And that was seen when we played Australia. I think in the past, when I was in the previous training, camp leading up to Colombia, we played Australia. I think it was 8-0 and 9-1, and then last time we played them was a 4-3 loss, and we were leading the game 3-1 up, and then we ended up losing in the end. But it was an amazing match. And then the second game against them, the day after, the players were not fatigued at all, and then we lost 3-2 with a controversial goal that the ball went in actually, and then the referee didn't allow the goal, but it felt like a draw. So from that moment, we realized that all the hard work, all the money that SIF, Solomon Islands Football Federation, spent, all the sacrifices, the hard work that the players put in, it was paying off because we were able to match the strength of the Australians that were always stronger. Technically, they are in the same level, but physically, we look stronger, but we're not that strong. And then Alex Argolo, the strength and conditioning coach, was able to completely turn that around. Changed how training was delivered to them. The integration of the tactical, technical plus the strength and conditioning training, and that was all. Due to being here in Australia, we trained at GSAC, Saganelaba, and yeah, they've got an amazing court there. And on top of that, not just the training facilities, but the size of the court. They train on a basketball size court, and then that really makes that game when they play on an bigger court difficult to like apply, the like attacking concepts and also defensive concepts. But having, probably we had, let's say, 2 weeks, 14 days training twice a day, 28, yeah, like 40 something sessions on an international size court. I was really able to uh, achieve what I wanted to achieve also with them, and so the results, speak for itself. So we're going to the World Cup now.
Congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
what an achievement. What an achievement. So I was among the many supporters, as always, here watching on TV and seeing it all happen, cheering for you.
Thank you. So there's a lot of people watching.
So, by the way, if there's anyone watching right now, and I know there are, we are happy to take questions. Well, more for Vinny than for me today. He's the star. And so if you just put it in the comments section there for us, we should be able to address them at some stage here. So feel free to send us questions or just simply say hi, hello, so we know you're watching. Right. So I'm playing with this new software here, Vinny. So hopefully it'll work. I want to share my screen here with you and show you a moment of the qualifiers, a few seconds, and I want you to sort of comment on that and describe that for us. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
So let's see. Go there.
I hate technology. I mean, I love it, but when I have to deal with it, I hate it.
It's okay. People like the organic. When things go wrong, it's even more fun. Okay, so.
Oh yeah, sharing now.
Are you able to see something?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So let's see if I can play this. Here we go.
Oh, that's it.
So there, Vinny.
Yeah.
So that's when your heart was almost stopped. It was racing, was it?
I think when the referee blew the whistle for the full time and went to penalty shoutouts, I was on my knees there. Could hardly watch the penalty shootout, but I had to because I wanted to see what was going on. But I can confess now that I had one eye open, so one eye closed, and I was so hugging the ball. I needed the contact with something on my knees, just watching it. And then after the first penalty, you started thinking, so this is it. Like we're gonna do it. I was actually very, very confident because of our goalkeeper Talo. He's like a great goalie. So I even said at like in the end, I said if we go to penalty shootouts, Talo is gonna win it for us. Of course, we gotta do our job, which is score the goal. But I was very confident that Talo would save one. I didn't think they would miss one, but then I was very confident that Talo would save one. And being only 3 penalties, that's all we needed. One save, and our 3 takers were very confident. Had a lot of experience. So as I said, without being cocky, without being like an arrogant coach, I just had that feeling that we would qualify if we went to penalty shootout. So I think I was less nervous in the penalty than I was in the game. So it's usually the other way around. But I was very
I was gonna
very,
say
very confident.
it's usually the other way, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But so the players can vouch. for me. I said that I was going to win it for us to go to penalty shootouts. I think there was about 30 seconds to go, and we went to penalty shootouts. And so, I think some of my predictions were correct.
Yeah, they definitely were, Vinny.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. Not that, the other one. We go to the penalties again, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something's loading up
actually,
here.
can you see it?
Yeah, I can. That's the
So actually,
fifth man.
I was gonna show this because before we go into those penalties that you just described, we had this happening. So that really was, let's play, a moment.
I think we're losing 4-2 here, and then that's Elliot to Sami to James to Alwyn, 4-3. I think there was a minute and 30 seconds left. They left the middle open. Good vision by Alwyn. Great pass by James. Vision, to see the space, and then James as well to have that calmness to play that ball. And then again, fifth man go for the one-on-one. So usually the fifth man keeper doesn't go for one-on-ones. They either finish, or they find a crucial pass. But then he had to go for the one-on-one to create the opening for the pass. And then Arnold, the guy that scored the goal, he had missed probably 3, far post tap-ins. And then he's a right footer. And then if you see that video again, he scored with his left. And then in the morning of the game, on the morning of the day of the game, he wasn't going to play. He had a sore knee. I think it was the right knee. And Alex spent probably 40 minutes with him, strapping, massaging, releasing the joint, treating it, and he was able to play and score that goal that took the game to extra time. So yeah, I think we're destined to qualify, but it was much harder than we wanted it to be, not than we expected, because you always expect a tough game against New Zealand. But it was much harder than we had anticipated. We had injuries. We had players, tearing their groin, hamstring pulls. So yeah, it had everything, that could have happened in that final. It was a great game.
I can imagine.
I'll always remember that game. Always.
Yeah, forever, isn't it? So then
the
New Zealand started missing the target.
Yeah, and then Elliot takes a second. Great penalty. Celebrates like, it was the winning penalty. And then the second player goes and scores. Great finish as well. So it was even at that point. And then all Bully had to do was score, and then he did it. And then, I can still hear the crowd cheering for us, the underdogs. And then Lucas goes and takes the third penalty. And then it was beautifully taken, but Talo guessed the corner and just saved it with his chest or bit of a shoulder there. And then I must confess, I did not see the first goal, the first penalty for New Zealand. So that's the one that I had both eyes closed, looking down, and then I just heard the ball hit the wall, and I went, okay, so what happened? They missed. And then from that moment, I started watching it again. But I was always going to watch. It was just that first game. Yeah. 7-6, like full time with the penalty and all the goals. Yeah. It just gave me goosebumps again.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I knew it was going to.
People have to watch the highlights. It goes about 10 minutes, but it will be the best 10 minutes of your life. If you love some futsal, please watch it. You will not regret.
Yeah. definitely recommend. I think I watched 2 or 3 times just today, just to talk to you. It was very exciting. Okay, so that was that, and happiness everywhere. So we had some tears of joy, did we?
Absolutely, tears of joy mixed up with a little bit of pain, uh, relief, like everything. Like what what the team, players individually and as a team, so went through to be at that stadium in that final. It was something like unreal. So they deserve everything that they achieved, the
Mm-hmm.
recognition, uh, so to the acknowledgement, and now they go to the world stage, FIFA World Cup. Yeah, so Alwyn, outstanding player, and then he tore his growing muscle in that final, so he didn't play. I think it was the last 2 minutes. Actually, he didn't play the extra time. That's it. So
Mm-hmm.
he scored the third goal, 4-3, and then I think just after that he tore his growing muscle, so he could not play. And that was a
Mm-hmm.
big, blow for us. He was playing beautifully. He was one of our key players. So so that's what I said. It goes back to what I said. He had a bit of everything. We lost one of our key players. The guy that scored the goal was
Mm-hmm.
injured. Talos showed as well had to be strapped. He didn't have any much range of you know motion and movement in that shoulders. We're looking at Alex going, Alex, work a miracle. That uh, I'll do what I can with the team, but I can't fix them. Can you do that, please? And then he did. He was just amazing to have him there, and we couldn't have done without him. And yeah, so as I said, he had all the ingredients for a great recipe, which is to win in the grand final, in the penalty shootout, and go to the World Cup. You're not just winning a tournament or winning a game; you're winning the game that qualifies you for World Cup. So as I said, it had a bit of everything. We hope that next time we don't have to go through the same. We'll try harder to make it easier if possible. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if I had hair, I would have lost all my hair in that final.
So okay,
I would.
so with the team now, Vinny, compared to the squad that you had in that final, I know you have a pre-selection now. Of is that
Yep.
18 players? How many?
17 from Sohoniara, I mean, from the Solomons that are
Mm-hmm.
currently living there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll have 2 more additions to the team, which will be James Aguirre, as I said before, and Jack Whitney. They'll
Mm-hmm.
be joining the team here. That will make 19 players. They'll be training for about a month before we head off to Europe for another
Mm-hmm.
training camp there. And I'll have to cut the squad down to 14 players that will be going to the World Cup. So yeah,
The final
that'll be
14.
the final 14. Yeah, they'll be training here twice a day. We've scheduled around 7 games. We're still talking to teams to get approval from FIFA, OFC as well. OFC first, then FIFA. But yeah, we'll make it
Mm-hmm.
happen. 30 days here, 2 sessions a day. That'll be equivalent to, let's say, we don't train Sundays because we'll be playing. It'll be 26 days, 52 sessions plus 7 games. So close to 60 training sessions slash games combined in Australia. So that's going to be a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope they're like prepared. They've been training hard there under the supervision of Cici, Francis, and Nelson. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll come to Australia better prepared than when they first came here for the qualifiers. They had no training, and then we had to start something with them here. But then this time they started training 2 3 months ago, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, yeah, they'll be, as I said before, better prepared this time for us to work with them.
Very, very good, Vinny. So when exactly do you have to decide on the final 14?
Like, I'm not sure. I think FIFA so requires the list as early as possible, of course, but because
Mm-hmm.
it is just different. I don't live in the country,
Mm-hmm.
that so the team is from. So I asked, SIF, Solomon Islands Football Federation, if I could bring 17 players to Australia plus the two, and then spend the 30 days with them before making a final decision. I
A
didn't want to
decision.
be unfair to a player that is working very hard, but I'm not seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
I can also receive feedback from coaches, assistant coach. I can see photos of players training, but it's not the same as if I'm coaching them to see uh, how much or how well they are so responding to my like some methodology to what I want to achieve individually first and then as a team. So they agreed
Mm-hmm.
to allow me to bring 17 players. It wasn't part of the budget. They only had budget for 13, and then the other two here. Then I'll have to cut one out. But then they found fundings to bring 17. So I'm very very happy. I wish I could have brought every player that was training over there. I think they had, I don't know, 21, 22 training, but that would be too many, would say, too expensive to come to Australia as well. Logistically, too hard to drive them around and organize meals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the COVID, so quarantine as well, would be an extra cost for them. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm happy. So with the numbers, 17, the quality of that squad, and then the other two that are going to join us. So 19 is a good number for 30 days. So yeah,
Yep.
I think I'll have to. I think FIFA can wait till the 30th of August for me to
Mm-hmm.
release that list of players.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about the groups, shall we?
Yeah, of course.
Uh, I think I can probably go and share this screen again. Let's see. Right.
Beautiful.
Can you see it? Make
Yeah.
it bigger.
Okay.
All right. So you guys
Great.
are in Group C.
Group C.
Yeah. So let's
Yep.
talk about the Solomon Islands group first, and the teams, the nations that you will be playing, at least the first three games. So, what do you expect? So, shall we say that Portugal is the favorite, or you think there'll be some surprises?
Uh, Currently, Portugal are the champions of the Champions League. The Futsal Champions League. So they're producing high level quality players, not just in the national team, but in the club, leagues as well, like Sporting are the current champions. They've won it twice in a row as well, after
Mm-hmm.
coming so close in the previous like years. So yeah, I would say I don't want to be like a hypocrite here and say no. So we're the favorites, not just a hypocrite, but lie to the people that say that we are the favorites. Sorry, we
Mm-hmm.
know of our difficulties, the limitations we have in terms of training, in terms of um, keeping the players physically active compared to most nations in this World Cup. They have national leagues. The players, if they don't play in their country, they play overseas. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
that. So I would say Portugal will be sort of favorites to finish first against, and they are currently the fifth in the world. So as I said before, they are improving and they're forced to be reckoned.
Mm-hmm.
They are already a powerhouse. They currently have the best player in the world, Ricardinho. Uh, so yeah, Portugal, I would say, will finish on top. When we play them, it's not going to be damage control. We're going to respect them, but we're also going to try and win. So this is the World Cup. We can't just go, oh no, so we're here to participate. No, we are here to win if we can. And if if we can't win against Portugal, we'll make it a respectable loss. We don't want it to be the same as as it was against Kazakhstan in the previous World Cup. Last game of the group stage, 10-0. It wasn't a good result. We had such a good first game against Costa Rica, then a great game against Argentina, despite both losses. But we really showed that we're not a punching bag team anymore. And then against Kazakhstan, all went out the window. So we don't want that to happen again. So we want to, as I said before, make it a respectable loss. And against Thailand and some Morocco, we're gonna respect them, but we're gonna just try and win like Portugal again. So yeah, we truly so believe that we can get some points against Thailand and Portugal. We're gonna be working harder against them, and let's see how they go against each other. It will be interesting to see how they go against each other in the group stage. And if we can't finish first or second, we're still aiming for third, which the four third best teams go through. So maybe a win against one of the teams and a good goal difference can get us through. We don't want the same to happen to Australia in the last World Cup. They lost to Brazil, I think it was 11-1, and then they couldn't have gone through because they beat Mozambique, I think 4-3. So they couldn't have gone through by 2 goal difference. So they had -8, and the team that went through in fourth place of the third places had -6. So if they had lost to Brazil, like let's say 9-1 or 11-3, they could have gone through the round of 16. So it goes back to what I said again against Portugal. Yes, if we are going to lose, let's keep the goal margin as small as possible so we can start again against for the other 2 teams. So that's it.
So in order is for you guys will be Portugal first. Is that correct?
No, sorry, we play Morocco first.
Morocco first, yeah.
Then we play, I think it's Portugal and then Thailand.
And is that the three?
So we are
the three best
and then
thirds
first game
that qualify?
Pardon?
Is that the 3 or the 4 best thirds that qualify?
The 4 best thirds.
The 4 best thirds.
Yeah,
and
so you got two teams from each group, so that makes 12. Then you have 4 best third places, which makes it
for
16.
the round of 16. Yep. Excellent. And so so there's definitely a possibility to get out of the group stage, isn't it?
Well, that's what we're planning on doing. We want to make history this time, not just win a game like they did it in 2012 against Guatemala, but also to get out of the group stage. So the teams are, like evolving, becoming much better, and to win a game and potentially get out of the group stage would be unreal. Would be one of the biggest, if not the biggest achievement of my life as a coach, and for the nation would be just like a return for all the passion and all the effort that they put towards futsal, for the team, the players, that some of them, this is their 4th World Cup. So they truly deserve it. So it would be amazing to win a game, and secondly, get out of the group stage. So that's what we're going to be planning on doing and training hard for.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely achievable, and they definitely, depending on how things go, they will have the chance to make it through, and there'll be plenty of people supporting you guys, just like me.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, do you know if let's play a little game here? Let's take a look at the 4 teams in each group and just pick out top 2. Let's see if we agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. So Group A. So which top two do
Do
you
I go
think?
first? Do I go first?
Yeah, you go first in
Group,
Group A, and then I'll go first in Group B, and so on.
yeah. So Group A, Kazakhstan first, Venezuela second.
So Kazakhstan and Venezuela. So I agree on that one. Group
Yeah.
B, I think Russia and Egypt will probably go through. What do you think?
Yeah, Russia for sure. Agree on that. Egypt or Uzbekistan. Currently, I think Egypt will have a higher chance because apparently, like Uzbekistan, they're facing some problems with the national team, preparation
Mm-hmm.
wise, or like funds. I don't know what's happening much. So I would say, yeah, Russia and Egypt. I will agree with you on that.
And then Group C, Portugal and Solomon Islands.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go Portugal first, as I said, with all the respect to the people of the Solomon. But coming second place in that group for us is like, winning the World Cup. So yeah, let's go
Yep.
Portugal first, Solomon second.
Group D, Vinny. That'll be an easy first place in the group. So Brazil, and who would be the second one, in your opinion?
So I'll go Brazil and Czech Republic.
Yeah, I heard Vietnam is improving quite a lot, but I'm probably with you with the Czech Republic.
They are like I could be wrong, but could be Soviet name second. But as far as my opinion goes, I would say Czech Republic, but could be a very narrow, second place. Very tight second place for Czech Republic. They might get a tie against Soviet name, and then it's going to be decided on goal difference. So that one is a bit hard, tricky to give your opinion on. But
Mm-hmm.
if I had to, I would go with Czech Republic second, Brazil first.
Yep. And then Group E, I think it's probably safe to say that one of the third places will come from this group, don't you think?
Will come from Group E and F. Absolutely.
Yeah. So probably Spain and that's tough, man. Paraguay. Not sure how Japan must be flying, as always. Yeah, with all due respect to Angola, our friends in the Portuguese language.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I would go Spain and Paraguay like as well. Just because the way that Paraguay played in the South American qualifiers, they played well. I haven't been watching Japan lately, but they always have a strong team. They did not qualify for the past World Cup, so hopefully they did something different because they are going now to the World Cup due to recent points. The AFC changed and got the teams that had gotten most points in the previous editions of the qualifier. So they didn't qualify to go there. They just used points from the previous year. So yeah, but they always have great players, great coach and great history as well.
Yeah. Mm. And then the current world champions are in Group F with USA, Serbia, and Iran.
Yep.
So that's probably safe to say Argentina and Iran, who, by the way, beat Brazil 4 years ago in the last World Cup.
Yeah. Extra time, fifth man. Yeah. I was there watching that game like in person. I was physically, in the stadium watching that game, and it was painful to watch. Falcon last, World Cup, and not to win it. It was devastating for as a supporter of Falcon, as a fan and as a Brazilian. You don't want to see
Yeah,
your national team lose, and I just saw them, so I felt
yeah,
the pain twice for Falcon and for the national team.
yeah. That's
I would
one of the
say,
many feelings. One of the many feelings that I had was disbelief. So I was just like,
yeah,
"Is this really happening?" But we have to say, man, Iran's come a
it
long
didn't
way,
happen.
hasn't it?
Oh no, they always have great tradition. Their league is very strong. Their players are such a high high caliber players, high quality. So yeah, I would say it's gonna be a tough game. Argentina and Iran. I gave
Yeah,
my opinion before, but I'm doubtful now. I don't know who's gonna come
yeah.
first. Could be
And I think
Argentina or Iran.
it's
Either.
worth
I don't
mentioning
know.
as well that it's already part of the culture in Iran to learn futsal, to coach futsal, to play futsal. Um, I remember when we did our AFC futsal
The
license,
license.
and and someone mentioned that this course that we it took us a week. We had to travel. It was expensive, and there was never we could never get a continuation of it in Australia. They say that just like regular school teachers do the same advanced course in Iran. So remember that conversation?
Yep, I do. And that shows how far behind Australia is, in terms of uh, promoting futsal, disseminating futsal, and
Mm.
respecting, futsal. There's a lot of people here in Australia that play, love the game, want to play more. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the support, and that's why people go uh, like as private business, independent businesses, because there's no support from from the federation. I wish that came to an end as soon as possible, so the sport
Mhm.
would grow and develop and have national teams again, and programs and tournaments, events. But yeah, I think we're like probably 5 to 10 years to wait until something happens. I would say 5 years. There's a lot of people working very hard in the backstage to make it happen. So I hope I am
Mhm.
wrong, but let's say in three years, the scenario for futsal in Australia will change for better.
Mhm. Mm. If considering everything, if the invitation had been to take on the futsal rules instead of the Solomon Islands, would also be a yes.
Uh, would be a no, because they were the first thing that gave me the opportunity. At the moment, I would say no, of course. And Australia
Mhm.
doesn't even have a national program. So, in case
Mhm.
things change, logistically, yes, it would be great to coach here, because the travels, the selection of players, the supervision of the training sessions in the program would be great. But to be honest,
Mhm.
I love the people from the Solomon. I've never been treated that well in my life by the federation, the staff, and the people of the Solomon. So I'll be forever grateful for everything that they have done for me, have showed me, a different side of life. We come from a very poor, country where people don't have much, and they still keep a smile in their faces. Then go to the Solomons there. You think you know what poverty is, you go over there, uh, and it's just like something that I cannot describe. It's hard to explain. People can only understand if they go there, and that's what I want to do here in Australia. As soon as the international borders open again after this pandemic, gets under control, I will be taking teams under 12s, under 14s, under 16s, and the men's team to the Solomons to play
Mhm.
there. They're building their stadium now, so we're gonna make a massive event there for the people in Australia to, it will be a sporting and a cultural exchange program. And then for the people of the Solomon to, have international teams coming over to christen that stadium, so play there for the first time in front of a big crowd. I think will be something amazing. So yeah, that's what I've been planning to do in the future. And going back to your question, yeah, Solomon, my heart belongs to the Solomon now.
Excellent. I'm sure they're also grateful and really happy to have you. And with the plan to take the kids there, I think
I hope they are.
They definitely are. With the plan to take the kids, I think it's a great idea, actually. We from NC Futsal here, we've always worked together. We'd love to be part of the project as well. So I'm sure our kids, would love that experience.
No, you will definitely be included. I will, make a selection, be fair. Some players from my academy, yours, and others as well will be open to other academies. I want to take not just a team. I want to take a strong team because they have very strong players there, very good players in their junior, groups. So definitely we'll keep working together for the betterment, of the sport in Australia and for the creating and also to create a pathway for our kids here. So to have that program or that opportunity offered, to them will be unreal. And I can't wait for, in the next year or so for the borders to reopen, international borders to reopen so I can start organizing it. And the parents have said, yes, we will go. So yeah, the federation has given me the green light to bring teams over. So it's going to be unreal.
Awesome.
The future looks bright.
Yes, it does. For those who work hard, like us.
Yeah. And for those who love futsal.
Yes, absolutely. And we certainly do. And I think people can tell that before we even start speaking. We are heading towards the end, guys. So anyone that's still with us watching, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, this is your last chance to ask. I still have one more to Vinny, but if you have one now, please put it in the comments section and we'll read it and we'll try and answer it for you. So, Vinny, was there anything that we didn't cover today in the conversation that you were hoping to talk about and we haven't yet?
No, I think we covered a lot. I spoke more than I should have, as always. I always talk too much, but in general, I talk too much, and when the subject of futsal comes up, I talk even more. So yeah, no, I think so. You covered everything that needed to be covered at the moment. I'm not forgetting anything. If people have any questions, as you said, they can ask, and I'm more than happy to answer them. But yeah, no, I just want to thank you for the opportunity once again, to be here in front of you and everybody that's watching and everybody that is going to watch when you share the video, the recording. Yeah, no, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm open to more invitations in the future as well. Maybe after the World Cup, when we qualify and make history, I will definitely be coming here again and talk about our experience at the World Cup.
So can I book that live already?
Yeah, just put it on your agenda here. Yeah.
So we definitely have to do another one because it's going to be a whole new experience when you come back, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll be doing the training camp in Europe as well. We can't reveal yet the countries that we're going to, but yeah, we'll be going to 2 countries before going to Lithuania to play in a futsal tournament and then friendly matches as well. So some exciting things happening. So yeah, I've been working very hard to organize the training here in Australia, the friendly matches here as well, high level games, and then the two international, tours before we go to Lithuania. So I think we'll have a good preparation. I want to thank SIF for allowing me to organize all of these events for them because yeah, their support has been incredible, and I'm very grateful for you guys allowing me to do that.
Excellent. If anyone wanted to contact you, Vinny, for any reason, what would be the best way?
They can send me a Facebook message, Vinicius Leite, or I now have an Instagram account. I can't deal with my Facebook, and now I have an Instagram account. It's Vinny, it's Vinny Futsal 84. So people can Vinny VINNY Futsal 84 number 84. Yeah, they can send me a message there. I'll be doing a little bit of a blog, with the Solomons when they get here. Like film the daily routine, edit at night, day 1, day 2, day 3. See what sort of training they're going through. Trying to document all of that, which I didn't do the last time, and there was some amazing training sessions, but I didn't get to share with anybody. So I think now is the time, with all the social media, for me to start doing that. Copy a bit of what you do with your trainings, which is amazing. What the content you've been posting,
Thank you.
So I'll be no, it is amazing. If you don't follow Renan yet, please do it because there's some very interesting content there, materials for you, and I'll be doing the same with the Solomons. So I'll be sharing their journey, daily journey with the supporters of the team.
And there's a perfect feature on Instagram for you to do that. So if you can document everything on stories, so people can just those 15-second clips on top. So you can do your vlog, as they call them. And then you can also, that stays once the 24 hours is expired, that you can save that as well on your phone later on. So people can see the day-to-day activities that you're having with the Solomon, and also you can save for posterity for you.
You have to teach me that. I need a masterclass session with you about Instagram and Facebook.
Definitely happy to do that, and thank you for the kind words. If anyone that
I wasn't lying.
If anyone that hasn't followed Vinny yet on Instagram and Facebook, please go ahead. He's the legend of futsal, and he's going to the World Cup, and we're all going to be supporting and cheering for him with the Solomon Islands National squad. On my end, I think the invitation is always there. So at Coach Renan Fenerich, the R is pronounced like H. I always say that just to emphasize. There's check out the content there. All futsal related, coaching related stuff. Next Friday, I'm gonna run I'm calling it a SUPERCLASS for transitions in futsal. There's a link in the description of this video. It's only for registered students. And we're going to talk about that stage of the game. And also, I'm going to be launching a special product for everyone at a discounted price in partnership with a big name of the Brazilian National Futsal League. So,
yeah, I think I know what that
you already know.
I can't say anything. I won't say anything. But I'll be definitely buying the product.
Cool. We'll have one for you with a no price tag. Thanks again, Vinny, and obviously thanks to the wife who stayed with your lovely son and my wife with my 2 children. For everyone who
sleeping
For everyone who stayed until now, it's a massive thank you. And for anyone that will be watching this, remember you can also send comments after if you weren't able to be with us during the live. So we'll be any questions. I'll just forward to Vinny, and we'll put it in the comments for you. So thank you very much, Vinny, and we will talk again before you go, and hope that all the preparations pay off and all your dreams can come true. And you can count on me as always. You know that.
Yeah. No. Thank you so much, and I'll be also receiving all the positive energy from people. We're gonna need everything we can receive and have from people in order to make history for the first time. So yeah, we're prepared. We just gotta get here in Australia and physically get prepared for the tough battle ahead of us. And it is the World Cup. You're not going to a Sunday league game, or like a tournament that happens every year. That's a World Cup every 4 years, and we are amongst the 24 best teams in the world. So yeah, the battle, the war is on, and we have 3 battles before we get to the 4th one.
And everything is going to be like you planned, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Yeah. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, everyone. We'll see everyone next time. Ciao.
All right. Have a good night, everyone, or good evening, or good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what time you're watching it.